Sorry guys, this is a new re-uploaded one. Don't know why it was glitchy, but it was. Okay, cool, cheers. Enjoy. G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke, how you going? G'day guys, benches tour today. Let's get into it. We're gonna just have a bit of a look around what I got left, maybe point out a few things that'll be for sale if anyone wants to buy it. So let's get into it. Sun's gonna go down soon, so it might not be super bright. Olive here, beautiful base, established 3 years in the pot. I think that one's going to be for sale. Olive here, I'm going to keep that one. It's got new shoots starting to come back in places, so it won't look too good for the show. There's we did that $50 plant from the nursery challenge with Nigel Saunders and that European guy. Slips me at the moment, but Melaleuca, tiny one, a bit of a base in there. It died back, that's why it's got a good base. It was a much bigger tree and then it died back, so we'll see how that one goes in the future. We've got a nice Chinese elm here that I did the video on. You can see it's getting in full leaf now. And that one there is only going to be a few $100 from the show if anyone turns up. 11th and 12th of October, Goodwood Community Centre. There's a juniper nana, red gum base, starting to shoot back out after I cut it back hard. There's my massive olive. It's the one that I carved my hand on when I carved up my hand. It's got shoots all over that side, and then this whole side of the trunk's dead, as you can see, but looks pretty cool. We got that one there, old grandpa. Another one. And that one, they'll be for sale, and the little guy. We got Laurie's Banksia that is struggling big time. Maybe over fertilised it, I reckon. I reckon I gave it too much at the start of spring when it was still chilling. I don't know. But anyway. Olive. Gonna weed it and moss it. Maybe sell it if all these shoots come out enough. We'll see how it goes. But it is shooting out, so if it looks good enough, I might sell it. It's still got a couple of weeks to get going, so it might be there, never know. Here's one that I repotted that had a smash pot. I repotted, you can see the old pot outline. Melaleuca, decussata maybe, or maybe a honey myrtle, not sure. I think decussata. But anyway, it didn't like getting repotted when I repotted because I had to cut a little bit of roots off, but it wasn't too bad. Just didn't love that. So we'll see how that one pulls up. We've got the Trident Maple Root Over Rock that I got from Luke Parsons. So I've trimmed it back pretty hard and she's shooting out, so that's pretty cool. I got this crazy honey myrtle, or maybe decussata, not sure. But it's kind of the same thing anyway. One's a showy honey myrtle, one's just standard. These benches are pretty close, so it's hard to get a proper view of everything. Let's see if I can't zoom out a bit. No. So there's a Chinese elm. I did a fair bit of trimming on that one. The secondary trunk's coming along nice now. It's starting to fill in. So I reckon another year on this beauty and she'll be a really nice tree. There's an ash tree stump. That one will probably disappear at the show. Someone will buy the stump to work on. A radiata pine. Quite a big one I collected with the club during a dig. It's got a bit of a curve down low, nothing really happening up there. Not sure whether I'm selling that or not. I collected it with 0 roots on it. No one thought it would live, but there you go, she's alive. Yeah, collected with pretty much 0 roots. This side here, we got a sarissa. It goes yellow, comes back, I don't know. See how we go with that one. This one here, really got to, hang on, sorry guys, if it's shaking around a bit. I'm trying to hold my phone and the mic receiver all at the same time, and it's proving very damn difficult, but we'll be right, we'll make it. We'll make it work. I do have a gimbal, but that was flat. A DJI, you know, gimbal with a gyro so it stays steady. I got to charge that, and you know, I wanted to make a video, so she's all good. Over here we got a bit of stock stuff, maybe a lemon scented honey myrtle, struggling, a Melaleuca alternifolia, decassata. So that's the decassata. So I think the other one back earlier was. This one here is my pomegranate that I am pretty sure I'm going to sell. And she's coming out into full leaf now. And it's got that beautiful trunk, twisty trunk, beautiful structure. So that one's going to be for sale, but that one will be quite expensive, I think. And that way, if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. But if someone really wants it and values it for what it is, because it's quite valuable, then they can have it if they're going to pay enough. It'll probably be $800 or something like that. But I think it's worth it. It seriously looks like a finished tree. Stunning. So probably around 800 Australian dollars. Base of a... It's meant to be a bottle brush of some sort, but such small leaves, so we'll see whether it turns into a bottle brush eventually. I don't know, that's what it was labelled as. This is another bottle brush. Got to do a bit of work on that one. It's got some ugly structure in there, so we'll do some work on that one. This side here, well, we got an orchid which is in full flower. Native orchid, look at that. Look at all them flowers, beautiful. So that's a native orchid. We've also got a maybe an alternifolia that Scott Martin worked on, Bonsai Matsu, and I think the front was meant to be there, so he did a workshop on it, and you can see all the new growth coming here. I had to keep it sheltered from all the frosts, and maybe I should have sheltered a heap of my other trees. As you can see, they went dormant or lost all their leaves, but this one here, because it got sheltered, it's just gone nuts. And then we just got some native stock, Melaleucas, maybe a white mallet, something like that. Lemon scented honey, lemon scented leptosperm, no, I don't know, lemon scented something. Here we got something else starting to shoot out. Thought it was dead, I gave up on it. Something petersonii, leptospermum petersonii. I think that one could be the same, I'm not sure. But anyway, it completely dried out in the summer, and I watered it for the last 6 months, nothing. And now look at that, guys and girls, and transgender, and queers, and whatever you want to be. Look at that. Look at that. Here we got a grapevine, pretty cool. Just I took it as a cutting, just snapped off a vine at work one day, so I put it in my back pocket and took it as a cutting. This one here's alive, but shooting a bit later, but I think from the same plant. And then over here, we've got another grapevine that's growing, so that's something interesting. something a bit different. Yeah, a lot of different stuff there, melaleucas and stuff. They look pretty sad coming out of winter. They don't like frost when they're in pots. In the ground they do okay, but in a pot they hate it. They hate frost. I think what I'll do is next year, before winter hits, I'm going to build some sort of a system here, out to here, maybe out to here, with a bit of a roof on it and sides. And maybe during winter I'll put it in there and they'll get a bit of morning sun, but they'll be protected mainly from the frost, because the frost doesn't go in underneath verandas very much. And then I'll put sensitive trees over here and leave some of the ones that I know are hardy out there, maybe something like that, I don't know. Anyway, native pine. So this is all starter stuff. I'll, you know, try to develop some of it. Maybe some of the stuff that I know is not going to be any good I might sell. I don't know. There's honey myrtle, I think. So maybe a white mallet again. That's a ginkgo. I'm tempted to plant it out the front as a nice feature tree, but I don't know how I'm going to water it, so I think that's a bad idea. Apple tree air layer is a success. If you remember back, we did that air layer, you know, to live or die, I don't know, the ultimate risk or something in bonsai. And yeah, we're looking at the back of it, but you know, she's starting to shoot out now. All the buds are swelling, and it's been in this pot for over a year now. So I'm pretty happy to say our air layer was a success, even though it didn't have a lot of roots and one side hadn't even put out roots yet. I think she'll be okay. There's a beautiful big stump here. It'll be hard to see the stump, but it goes from there to there. And it's got a beautiful line up to the top. So this one here, carved out and treated right, could end up being an absolutely magnificent tree. Big one again, with a lot of carving, so that could be a good carving video in the future. Probably sooner rather than later. I might do a big video when I got a weekend free. Cut it back to the branches we want to keep and then carve it out and make it look really nice. So that'll be a cool video. And we got a peppercorn here. They also hate winter in a pot. They hate winter normally, but in a pot they really hate it. So it was all, dropped all its leaves, gone yellow, dropped all its leaves. So I've cut it back hard. You can see it's pushed a lot of sap. And if you look closely, new shoots coming out. New shoots coming out. And that's happening over the whole thing. See one down there. You know, over here. So it's fine. It'll come back nice now, and it'll have beautiful green leaves, and it'll be fine. They just don't like the cold. Couple more stock trees here. Melaleuca, decussata, and maybe similar, but just with a darker leaf on the other side. Yeah, so that's the other side of the apple tree. You can kind of see there. There's that thing there. I don't know what that's called. Okay, here's me box thorn bonsai. It's doing well. We gave it a trim before. Here's a Japanese red pine. Okay, it's gone yellow over the last year because I cut it back too hard last time I worked on it. Hey Freddie, hey Bunny, hi Leo, hey guys. Wow, guys, wow, whoa. And yeah, hey Freddie, hi. You're high energy, aren't you? You're high energy. Well, anyway, we'll keep going here. Yeah, so it struggled and went yellow, but I fertilised it pretty hard. Now, I didn't fertilise it much last summer either. I was very, very lazy. But it's putting out new pollen buds everywhere, so you can see that, and new buds in the middle. So it's definitely fine, and it's elongating all these already, all the new shoots. 100% fine. I'll probably wait till December and then give it a cut back. I think December's the time, start of December. I'll give it a cut back, see how it goes. Here's my rock planting of a Melaleuca. Really struggled. I don't know what happened. I think a frost as well. And I was so worried it was dead, but if I look around, bear with me, I'm trying to find, there is evidence of shoots trying to come out. Where are they, Sammy? I can see them with the naked eye, but barely, and I don't know whether you guys can. You can kind of see all those dormant buds are reddish looking, and they are actually popping. I think you get to see it right there. They're all popping. This is great news. I thought I'd killed it. I thought it was dead. I'm going to have to protect them from the frost next year. I'm going to have to build something. I've learnt my lesson. I'm over my laziness. It's time to build something and protect them during the frost, because there's just too many that are frost prone to move every night into the shed that it's going to be frosty. Ideally, I'd move them into the shed every time it's going to be frosty, move them back out. But some like that are too heavy, too awkward, and I've got too many, so it's going to make it hard. But yeah, if I look around, there's a lot of shoots like that everywhere, so I actually think it's survived. So thanks, tree. No help from me. I left you out in the wilderness and almost friggin' killed you, didn't I? But come on, buddy. You can do it. All right, this is a swamp eucalypt or something like that. Look at these fine, dainty leaves. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool base. Yeah, what else we got? We got a little Jap maple with a fairly straight trunk, just dug out the garden for a bit of fun. See how we go. Here we've got a struggling Kunzia, because I let too many weeds grow in its pot and it got strangled by the weeds. But look at that, it's going to have a flower at least. And that's the Kunzia plant there. So it's got to do a lot of growing and a lot of recovering. Another Banksia. I think I over-fertilised it. This Banksia was doing great and now it's dying off. I feel like the two Banksias are over-fertilised. I think that's my problem. Anyway, that one's not very old. It's only 3 or 4 years old from a tube stock. And look how fat it is. We'll see whether it reshoots. I doubt it will. Once a tree starts going like that and all the shoots keep burning off, generally that's its last little push before it dies. So I think that one's dead. What do we got here? We got an olive. Me beautiful little olive. That's probably going to go in the show this year. I think it's time that this one got shown off and put in the show. It's only small, but it shows people, you know, you don't have to have big trees to go in the show. Here's my bottle brush. Again, super badly frosted and everything just burnt off. All the shoots, leaves, everything burnt off. There's evidence of it trying to regrow at times, you know, but a shoot will start to grow again and it's dying, so it's really struggling, seriously struggling, and that would be a damn shame because that's in a $200 Luke Parsons pot or $300, and it's also, I've had it for a lot of years and I love that tree. So I'll be super embarrassed at myself if I have killed it. Gut feeling is I think it will come back. I've treated it bad before and it's come back. Yeah, not sure if I deserve to have a tree this good if I'm going to treat it like that. But I think the buds are swelling. I think it will come back. Down here you can see some swelling buds. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And same thing here, red gum. I cut it back in the middle of winter because it was just looking so terribly scraggy. and it didn't like being cut back in winter. So do not cut a red gum back in winter. They hate it. Look at all these black branches. It's not dead, but it's going to have to be all the little fine branching is going to have to be redone, because you can see it shooting back there. Quite a few spots are like that. We'll see where it shoots back. It'll probably give it a lot of character in the long run, because we'll have a lot of dead branches and stuff. But it's shooting back. It'll be alright. It's just, you know, learn your lesson here, Sammy. I hope you do, and I hope you don't do that again. Naughty boy. Slap on the leg. Here's a bottle brush. Worked on that one with an Evan Marsh workshop. And that one actually survived the frost just fine. So you can never tell which one's going to get frosted, which one's not. Some trees like it, some trees don't. Even in the same variety, like bottle brush. There's a massive octopus tree from me and Laurie collecting it. Collecting in the wild video. It's massive. I've got to do some branch selection and do a little bit of grinding. I'm not going to grind too much on this one as far as hollow it out. I'm just going to clean up all these stumps and just grind them back a bit. Make it look a bit more believable, a bit nicer. And I've probably got to do a little bit of big shoot selection. I'm going to keep it fairly quirky with some weird branching. So it'll be interesting where that one ends up in 5 or 10 years. Just a red gum stock. That's the one that went in a cement mixer. I will show you it from the other side in a minute. There's a Melaleuca with a nice trunk. Surviving from the winter. It'll be okay. It's got new shoots coming out. So one thing I will say about Melaleuca, don't give up. Like that one there's been dormant, looking like that for 2 months, and now it's finally starting to go. My very first ever bonsai. So you can see the contrast. Some things wake up early, some don't. So the ash tree wakes up super early, and then even if you get a hard frost, the ash tree just seems to go through it even without trouble. So it's a really weird thing. But you can see deciduous trees are really cool, because in the spring it's a fresh new start. Everything looks fresh and green, no matter how much you badly cared for it the year before. It seems to always look good again in spring. So that's me first ever tree, first ever bonsai. This is a Nessophylla, I think, Melaleuca. They don't bud back too well, but this one's got a cool trunk. Reverse taper, but cool. So we'll see how we go. We've got to keep it cut down all the time. Don't let it grow long, because otherwise when you cut it back, if you let it grow too long, it'll die back and it'll be no good. Here's a Luke Richards first original tree. He does jade bonsai on I think Instagram, Luke Richards, and this is his first ever tree he ever made, and it's actually really cool, going along fine. It's got little shoots starting to come out. I cut it back really hard because it was overgrown, and now it's got new shoots coming everywhere. Also got just a stock one that I carved out and put a bit of paint on, I think. Ficus. Another one there that I collected. No, divided from that forest. Back here we've got pomegranate with a really cool base also. That one's going alright. This one here has got a big base. It's a native Melaleuca again, so you can see the trend. A lot of Melaleucas trying to start up here. I've got to do a little bit more research on how to care for them, because I seem to be doing a good job, like this one, of making them look like crap. So, same with the bottle brush over there. Jesus. This here is a really cool crepe myrtle. It's got tiny little leaves on it. It looks absolutely beautiful when it's growing. You can see the cool trunk. And it's shooting out, deciduous obviously, crepe myrtle. Well, not obviously, you might not know them. It's deciduous, and it has really, really red small leaves. They're bright red all year, and it looks absolutely stunning. Some crepe myrtles can have yellowy looking leaves. Here's another little jade. It's getting little leaves back again. They were frosted also, but not too bad. There's a box, another box, a couple of little baby boxes. Here's another radiata pine. Super bendy stuff. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. That got collected at the dig day as well. It just had a little kink at the bottom, and you know, that trip there was nothing really exciting there, but it was a fun day out all the same, so that's fine. I think it was from the Crepe forest. Here's my massive olive. I don't know. I got a lot of crappy trees, and then you got that thing just sitting there. Don't know how that one come to be, but it did. Just worked on it, and somehow she wanted to be a good tree. Some trees are like that, they just want to be good. Okay, here's another cool crepe myrtle. Now this is the larger leafed one, which gets slightly yellower looking leaves during the summer. But still super cool anyway. Still really cool tree. And pretty cool branching, massive base. That's that crepe myrtle. And still looks really good. That's why that one's a bit bigger, because it's got bigger leaves. So that way it's more believable. Here's Laurie's olive tree that he's carved out. And, you know, I've done a bit of trimming and wiring over time. I did a wiring video on it, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I did leave the wire on a bit long, but don't worry, it'll grow out, get a bit of bark and stuff. It'll be fine. Pomegranate here, that one will be going. Here's my big bottle brush here. So I had this bottle brush in the show last year. That one actually has gone through winter not too bad. Some of the leaves have gone a bit yellow on the edges, but all in all, pretty good. It's kept its leaf and it's got all buds everywhere. So that's got to have a trim. So that's definitely on the cards in the next couple of videos. I'll wait for the weather to warm up slightly, otherwise I could have the same disaster some of the others have. Like the red gum that I cut back too early. This is an olive. I don't know. It's crude sort of carving, block carving, I guess you call it. No detail in that at all. Not like some others. This one's very block carving. I guess designed to let weather over time, and it'll get cracked and the black will disappear a bit, and you know, with all the foliage around it, it'll be less noticeable. I think this one was just really to clean up the ends, and I got lazy. I maybe was going to come back to it and do some detail carving. So normally you do that, and then you get in and you just do little tiny detail marks in it, which makes it kind of like a, I guess, white ants maybe got into it or something like that. Here's, look at this big base, absolutely massive. So that's my hand, huge. I don't know what that one weighs with that pot. It could be bloody 150 kilo plus. But yeah, pretty cool. Here's my, it's just about to finish flowering, my plum. I've got that in one of my homemade pots. That's a pretty cool plum. I don't know if it'll get any fruit this year or not. I hope it does. It'd be pretty cool to see a bit of fruit on it. But yeah, that's my plum. It actually has grown back pretty well this spring, looking pretty damn good. Here's another plum. That one's got a reasonably nice structure to it. You can see it looks a bit like a tree. Yeah, here's Lance Richards from the other side. This is the actual front. You know, it looks like a sort of like a baobab in Africa or something like that. Is it Africa? I don't know. Madagascar? I don't know. Whatever. Somewhere. And there's that olive for sale as well. So this is the famous cement mixer one that created a bit of controversy. Some people weren't too happy that I just chucked her in a cement mixer and let her go around with a few bricks in there as well. Chucked it in with the 6 odd bricks, smashed it up, treated it like crap. And I must say, it's got branch structure everywhere now. It just needs a bit of finer ramification now, or finer branch structure. And she'll be starting to look pretty damn good. And then you got some like this that have nice bases. Struggling a bit, but I think they'll come back, most of them. Here's a tree, I think, swamp cypress, just sitting here, that hopefully will be shade for the house in the hot weather. I don't know, it's not meant to grow here, but it seems to be okay. It's probably 9 foot tall, and yeah, it's growing out fine. Deciduous, I think swamp, I don't know, someone can let me know. And this one's the same, it's a little one next to it in case the big one fails. Got another one next to it. Getting out near the end. There's an olive, a few weeds. Beautiful trunk on this one, so I'll probably work on this one. Could turn it into something really beautiful. Here's a triple trunk olive. This one will probably be for sale. Still nice. Just really nice. Just, I have quite a few good ones, so if something's not really tickling my fancy, I'll get rid of it, but it's still bloody good. Bit of carving on the trunks there and some branch work, and she'll turn out fantastic. And then here's a little olive. Not sure whether I'll keep him or not, but pretty cool. What do you think, Leo? Pretty cool? Yeah, I reckon. What do you think? I reckon it's beautiful, bud, hey? You are gorgeous. You should be in a show or something, mate. Look how beautiful you are, hey? Leo, look how beautiful you are. Look at your fur. It's so shiny. So shiny, bud. Love you. Love you, bud. Okay, well, getting dark. Oh, here's from the other side, the octopus thing from the quarry. Stunning tree. Hoping to turn that into an absolutely beautiful one. Testing out my welding skills too under here. No support beam, just welded straight on, and that's well over 200 kilo. Okay guys, well, I think that's about it. So cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your mates about the channel. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the fact that I showed you all these failures as well over winter, because failures happen. You know, you get lazy or slack for a while, or, you know, take it for granted that these things are fine out here. That's what happens. See, sick, 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 but coming back, most of them. So we'll see how they recover over the next few weeks, and that'll be telling as to, you know, what happens in the long run. This is a kind of, this is what I mean, this was block calves, but then this was calved properly later. And you can see how much the detail makes the whole carving just pop. I spent a lot of time on that. So that's when I, yeah, cut my hand. I probably did 30 hours of carving on this. I would have done 30 hours trying to make it look natural. So all of this was just plain trunk, and I turned it into that to look, I think, reasonably natural. I think I did a pretty good job, you know, trying not to toot my own horn here, but for someone that's pretty average and haven't done that many hours carving, I think it turned out pretty damn good. That's probably the biggest effort I've ever put into a carve, and it's only got half a tree here, see? That's the live part. The rest is all dead. Alright guys, a lot for sale, a lot I'm keeping. It'll be interesting over the next few weeks, deciding what I'm keeping, getting rid of, and it'll be interesting to see what's left once the show's all over. Like I say, some of the ones that I'd like to, like the pomegranate down there, if someone pays enough, they can have that one. If not, I'll be happy to keep it in my collection because it's a beautiful tree. We'll just see how it goes. 800, 850, it'll be something like that. Anyway guys, cheers for watching. Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Like, share, subscribe, tell your mates about the channel, and yeah, I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, email me if you really want something before the show, and I might be able to work something out. We'll see. All right, catch you later. Cheers.